Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Let's Play. Before starting, I just wanted to say thank you for all the helpful comments in the last video. I genuinely enjoyed engaging with all of you and appreciate the feedback as well as suggestions. We are here on episode 12 of our 1.16 world, and as you can see by this footage, in between episodes I was able to dig out and build a small room at the base of the diamond mine. I also found myself in a back-to-back raid situation and was able to get 10 or so of these totems of undying. Hopefully these will help me avoid fatality and even worse, item destruction the next time we go thunderstorm headhunting. After all, the last thing I want to do is lose some more valuable or memorable items again. On the topic of equipment, I managed to get another trident with channeling and loyalty, so that takes care of the last piece of lost gear. I also managed to collect enough levels and books to make our 4th netherboard pickaxe. And let me tell you, I will be so grateful once all of these are upgraded to netherite, so we can really go to town mining in the depths of the nether. Okay, so we're here at the hunting grounds, and as you can see we have the 4 villagers from last time with a zombie now in front of them. And okay, it's doing exactly what I thought it would. So now all we have to do is infect them 3 more times and then cure them 3 more times, and then also do this for the villagers on this other side, but then also ensure that there's an additional step, so doing the curing and inflicting process 4 times. So I have kind of a crude setup here, but hopefully it gets the job done. So wish me luck. I've never really done this in succession before, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so that's how you do it. Alright, well this is gonna take some time. Alright, so I've done this about 3 more times, and so now they should be good to go, so I'll start placing the job blocks right in front of them. I've already thought this out beforehand, and so what I want is a couple of priests, as well as a couple of stonecutters, and then 2 smiths, or toolsmiths rather. And the goal is to have unlimited access to diamond tools, a way to generate a lot of emeralds quickly by trading stone and other very common mining materials, and getting rid of all of that rotten flesh that we've collected throughout the course of our leveling, which I believe we have a little over a double chest's worth. I'm not sure why the rotten flesh trade is still quite expensive. Maybe I need to do the infection and curing process a couple more times, but I have done it 4 times, so in theory it should all be 1 emerald. Everyone else looks to have the 1 emerald trade, so I'm not really sure why the priests are an exception here, but I still think that's pretty good in the scheme of things. Well, the rotten flesh trade is still high, but the jobs for the other villagers are set up now. So I guess we can troubleshoot that later, but in the interest of time, I'll go ahead and start trading to get their profession levels up to master. I'm hoping to use all this EXP towards more netherboard pickaxes. That way we can focus on stockpiling a ton of ancient debris in the next episode. We are making good progress. All of these villagers except the other toolsmith are now at master level, and these trades are nothing short of awesome. So I ended up taking a break from trading. I brought our horse Keen over here, but since I was AFK for some time, he is nowhere to be found. So the only place he could wander off to is over in this area, and oh, that's him. Wow, he made it all the way over to the desert temple. What an adventurer. Guess we can head back over to the hunting grounds and continue trading with the villagers. Okay, it is a couple hours later, and as you can see we have quite a respectable amount of bricks. And in this next chest, you can see that I went a little overboard. So now I have to ferry all of this stuff back to the island, but once that's done, we'll enchant those netherboard pickaxes, and then figure out what to do for the rest of the episode. Back at home with all the supplies, including some enchanted books, we've got about 81 levels, so let's put these to good use. And here's our collection. I plan to spend a little more time getting some more books and levels so we can make a grand total of 9 pickaxes in this episode, so I'll report back then. I lost Keen again and spent like 10 minutes looking for him. Guess where he was hiding? Yep, underground. Ow! I kept trading emeralds for bricks, but truthfully, I have no idea what to use all of these for. None of the builds I had planned need this texture palette, but I guess it does remain one of the more time-intensive blocks to obtain, so I suppose it never hurts to have a stash. I guess the same could be said for everything in here, huh? Okay, real quick, last netherboard pickaxe, so then we have 9 total. Just taking a quick trip to the nether to mine. For the vast majority of this area, I've been mining at y equals 15 and y equals 11. I thought to mine just one more layer above this to check if the encounter rate for ancient debris is worth making the ceiling just a tad bit higher. As you can see, this entire area was completely a dud, and I am sorely disappointed by the rates. In this entire area, a singular piece of ancient debris is all I have to show for it. Definitely not worth it. I want to use the remainder of the episode to start building on the large island to the northwest of here. It's a desert island, and since we've touched down on it back in episode 3, it's only really served as a place to hunt mobs, but given its size and proximity to our islands, I think this would be an ideal location to build a desert village, where we could also set up our villager trading area. I've yet to come up with a name for the city, but if anyone has any ideas, please comment below. For the build itself, in this episode, I just want to start on the Oasis portion, which would serve as the source of life and water for the village. Alright, so here's the area I have in mind. Right there in the middle, we're going to have the Oasis. And this is where we're just going to start for now. Eventually, I would like to build out the entirety of the area, ultimately making the big spiral kind of building in the middle where all the alchemists live. And this would be more or less the place where you trade and get all your knowledge from, where all the villagers live. And then once that large kind of project is built out, then we can expand the other areas. As you can see, the terrain is also already naturally, it naturally has some different layers already, so that's really prime, I think, for taking advantage of the environment. There's actually even a small cove over there and a river to the right, so that makes this a really ideal location, I would say, for shipfaring commerce. So we can build docks and possibly even ports over there, and then this could also be another feature. This island isn't standalone, so this is the bigger portion of the island we're more or less standing on. Over here, there's a small, slim area where it's kind of a crescent moon shaped, but a little elongated, if you will. And then in the distance, you can also see that there is a sunken ship, which we have still yet to explore, and I'm sure we'll find some buried treasure and other goodies with that. We definitely could use a Heart of the Sea since we have over a stack of Nautilus shells, and I very much want to use the conduit in order to explore underwater and then take advantage of that when we're building out some of the Guardian farm when we get around to doing that. So for now, I guess I will get started on building this little oasis right here. I'm going to take advantage of these little water pools, which are already in place, and see what I can come up with. I think the water is going to have to be somewhat more in the center, so I might, let me get the cursor, start over here and then build over that way. That way there's a space to kind of pass by the oasis, but it's still at a central point in the island, because it really wouldn't make a lot of sense if the fresh water was so close to the salt water if there wasn't, say, a runoff from higher terrain. So yeah, that's what I'll get started with, and hopefully it turns out cool. I don't think we're going to have time to move the villagers in this episode, but that's something I can do in between episodes, and maybe even build out little temporary housing units for them. That way they're not exposed to the elements. I also need to light this place up now that I think about it. But yeah, let me get to work and I'll report back. So I've noticed we hit stone here. I'm thinking this might be a really good way to make an underwater tunnel, so something secret we can dive into for future purposes, let's just say. I'll think about it. I have no idea if these fish will stay here, but worth a try. Alright, so I got the water in and I added a little bit of vegetation to the bottom of this oasis, added the fish and a little bit of sugarcane. I think for now this is acceptable, but we'll have to go back and add more decorations and more detail once we have updated to the newest version, once we do that. But for now I think that's good. What I want to do now is I want to see if jungle trees would look, I don't know, if they would look good in this area. Part of me thinks they will, but we'll see. I only brought 4, so hopefully we can get more than that. I'll go ahead and plant it right there. That way there's kind of some shade, and it would make sense that it's further inland. But yeah. Okay, actually that looks kind of cool, especially because it gives shade over the water. I'm tempted to add another one over there, and then maybe we'll do some custom trees, since I was planning on building palm trees from the same block palette. Yeah, I like that. 2 or 3 big ones, and then the smaller palm trees decorating the kind of peripheral. And then maybe a path leading from the eventual port area, or maybe from the river. I'm unsure at this point. Regardless, I need more wood, and I think I will trim the vines a little bit. They're a bit excessive, if you know what I mean. That looks really cool. Like, almost as if an ancient building was there to begin with. I'm gonna keep that in mind as we start to build this place out. So that is a pretty big tree, but I guess it does indicate that there is water, or fresh water there. Hey, the fish stayed. That's cool. Alright, so I'll go ahead and farm this wood and then probably build out the trees and then report back. Well, that's great. I only got back 1 sapling from that entire tree. And I don't want to cut down this one, so I guess that's another trip. Give me that. Fish, watch the place for me. Alright, so it is much later, and I've built 2 palm trees and built another large jungle tree. I added some dirt, as well as kind of the foundations of the villagers' shop stalls that they'll be temporarily housed for now. I think in terms of time, we're just about out, but I really like how this ended up turning out, especially with the lily pads and the right balance of vegetation, I feel. But other than that, I do apologize for the lack of episodes in the past month. I've been trying to catch up with work, mend an injury, and get some much needed rest. April looks to be even more busy, so I'm not sure when the next video will come out, but I'll do my very best to get it out as soon as I can. For the next episode, I haven't really decided on what to work on. We can continue to polish up this oasis area and move the villagers here, of course. Alternatively, I was thinking we could also go on another adventure, since it has been some time since we've explored the southern seas. The last time we were out there was during the initial episodes, where we were island hunting for a place to settle down, and that took quite a bit of time. But I would be interested to know what all of you would like to see, so if any of you have any wants or suggestions, please feel free to leave a comment. As always, thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic day. Take care. Bye for now.